Today I have a lot to talk about. I don't even know where to start. And like there's a lot I want to share with you guys. I have content for days, but my problem is time because of work commitments outside YouTube. The 9 to 5 job system is just a trap. Yes, it's nice to have a stable job, but that system is the reason why we're not moving forward as a country. Smart thinkers are trapped in the 9 to 5 job system and they work like robots, doing the same thing every day for the whole year. A dentist in the public sector wakes up every morning and goes to work to yank out teeth the whole day. That's a waste of life if you ask me. Imagine being a teacher and teaching the same thing every year till you retire. Hey, giraffes had short necks and they stretched and natural selection. Singenapti. Hey, Nazi party this, Hitler dead, Hitler wogwenzan. That thing is not even African history, but my younger siblings are still learning those things at school, even today. If we can transform the education system, we'll produce more thinkers instead of regurgitators. Because honestly, now we just cram textbooks and regurgitate the content in the exam, get distinctions and go study medicine. After that, you go work in a rural hospital and you can't even practice half of the things you learned in med school because the hospital is not well equipped. Now you're just trapped in the 9 to 5 job system with your brains, but you are not really making any meaningful contribution to society because all you do is give people Panado and prescribe calamine. Mam Angie Mutsaga has been the Minister of Basic Education since 2009. I was doing grade 8. I finished high school, went to varsity, graduated and worked for just over 3 years, and she's still the Minister of Education even today. Icon. I'm not saying she's doing a terrible job. All I'm saying is we need fresh minds in that department. You can't put Dr. Khumalo as a player in the Bafana Bafana squad in 2022 and expect to win the World Cup. But as let's continue with our journey of selling our nonsense GTI. Just a quick recap before we get on to this video. In part 1, I said if you sell your finance car, you will either have a shortfall, break even, or get some money back. I also promised to tell you more about my little fight with VW in part 2, and I will get to that, but let's first look at the steps you should follow if you want to sell your financed car. You can either sell your car privately or sell to a dealership. Dealership offers are always ridiculous, but they are the safest option, and with them there's less admin. They just evaluate your car and that's it. Private sale is very risky, and if you're unlucky you may happen to deal with thugs who will end up taking your car for free. And that's a blessing in disguise if you have comprehensive insurance, but let's not go there. The first thing dealerships will ask you when you want to sell them your finance car is how much is your settlement? And your answer should be I don't know. Then they will ask you how much do you want for the car. Just tell them to give you an offer first and you will take it from there. Don't be the first one to talk numbers because sometimes you will undervalue your car and that's an easy win for them. Wait for their offer. Then when it's your time to talk numbers, ask for more than what you really want. Let's say you want 300,000 rands for your car, but they offer you 285,000 rands. Just say you want 320,000 rands. Usually they will up their offer a bit, maybe to 290,000 rands. Then you just say, 290,000 rands is not too bad, but I can't accept anything less than 300,000 rands. That way they will feel like you are meeting them halfway by dropping your price from 320,000 rands to 300,000 rands. Can't you know? 300,000 rands is exactly what you wanted from the beginning, but you have to use reverse psychology to get what you want. This trick is not gonna work in every case, so it is very important to research the price of your car in the second-hand market. You can't just say you want 350,000 rands for a Kia Rio if Rios are going for less than 250,000 rands in the second-hand market. You can also sell your car through online platforms such as AutoTrader, Cars.coza and Willy. You somewhat just hold the details of your car in their website and different dealerships will bid on your car. I tried Willy back in March when I was selling my Polo Vivo and they said I will have to drive to Gauteng to finalize the deal. Ngathi mina, driving from Mpumalanga to Gauteng to sell a Polo Vivo, ngcono siyeke once. Cima. So let's continue with the GTI story. I bought the car in March 2022 and sold it in July 2022. So I only paid 3 installments for April, May and June. The purchase price was initially 561,000 rands, But the first GTI gave me problems and I got a replacement car which had no Beats audio system. So I got a 10,000 rands cash back, and that took down the cost of the car to 551,000 rands. I did some research on how much low mileage 2022 Polo GTIs are going for in the used car market, and the cheapest one was going for 540,000 rands. I crunched the numbers and I decided that I just want 520,000 rands or more for the car. My settlement was around 378,000 rands, so I just needed to sell the car for 378,000 rands to break even. Anything above that means I'll be getting some cash back for my next car. I took the car to WeBuyCars for an appraisal. They did the inspection, test drive, and the guy came back and we went to his little office. How? That chief then makes a phone call and talks about our car in Afrikaans. Geberte Polo GTI last month gekoop, VW Pal Motors geberte 2000 kilometers, ja, alles sunroof full spec, they be the master cars. I'm like, master cars? And what is this Mlungu talking about? He ended the call and asked me what's my settlement amount, and I said I don't know. He said, okay, cool, how much do you want for the car then? I said, no, you tell me how much you're willing to pay for the car, then we'll take it from there. He said, yeah, on the phone, I was talking to the guys from head office, and head office is offering 500,000 rands. I said, no, I want 530,000 rands. He said the offer from head office is final, and we can't go against that, wara. And he also said there's a fully spec facelift Polo GTI going for 520,000 rands at some other VW dealership, so they can't offer me more than 500,000 rands for a used car because they can get a brand new one fully spec'd for 520,000 rands. That's when I knew that guy was just dizzy. 520,000 rands for a 2022 Polo GTI fully spec'd, msangano lo. The next day I went to VW Palm Motors to get them to sort out the PDC malfunction and the issue of the aircon not blowing cold air. When I got there, I met another facelift Polo GTI owner who was also having issues with his car. He told me his car has suspension problems and there's irritating noises around the B pillar. Meeting someone who's also in the VW struggle made me feel better. It's always nice to know that you are not struggling alone. It's like when you are in varsity and course is chowing, but you are not failing alone. That's great stuff. Back in varsity, I used to check my marks, then check how my friends were doing, and if we're all seeing flames, that's good. But there's this one time we wrote a test, and all my friends passed and I got 13 over 50. I felt like the dumbest nigga in the planet, but that's Pumelap. The technicians inspected the car fast, and they told me their computers are not detecting any PDC related faults, so there's nothing they can do with regards to the sensor issue. One technician said I must take a video when the sensors are malfunctioning because the problem is intermittent, and they will put the video in a disc and mail it to VWSA Warawara. But it's not like I'm always driving with a camera in my hand ready to record problems. The PDC malfunction happens randomly and the car usually beeps for like 10 to 20 seconds, so how the hell am I gonna be able to record that while driving? Regarding the issue of the aircon not blowing cold air, they said there's a defect on the condenser causing a gas leakage. The crazy part is that they expected me to pay just over 11,000 rands for them to replace the condenser, and when I asked why, they said their system shows that the pressure sensors were activated on the 1st of July. That's when the gas was lost, so it's not a VW problem, it's a me problem. I knew they were talking nonsense because the aircon was already not blowing cold air since June. Around the 18th of June, the aircon was not blowing cold air, but then June is the peak of winter here in SA, so I just ignored the issue because I never really needed the cold air, and I think that was my biggest mistake. I told the workshop manager that I'm not gonna pay for the repair, and he said we must escalate the matter to the dealer principal. But the DP wasn't around, so they loaned me a car and I left. When I got home, WeBuyCars called and said, yeah, Mr. Sambo, we spoke to head office and they are now willing to offer you 520,000 rands for your car. I said, okay, cool. Send me a written quotation. I will think about your offer and get back to you. Kanti no, I'm going to use that return quotation as my bazooka against VW Palm Motors. The next day, I sat in a meeting with the dealer principal, workshop manager, and the technician who was working on the car. The technician reiterated that the system says the pressure sensors were activated on the 1st of July, and he believes that's when the gas was lost, so it's not a VW problem. I challenged him to go back and check what were the gas readings or levels mid-June, and he said no, the system doesn't go back in time because the sensors are only activated once the gas is below a certain minimum level. That simply means that the gas could leak for days or weeks undetected as long as it is still above the minimum level. So it is incorrect for them to base their argument on that system because it doesn't indicate when did the gas leak start. It merely shows the date when the gas got below the minimum level. We argued and argued until I realized that no man, here it's like I'm talking to a wall. What they didn't realize is that I didn't really care whether they fixed the car or not because I already had an offer of 520,000 rands in my hand. I was just pushing them to fix the car so that the next person who's gonna buy it won't inherit the problems. I told them to buy back the car since they were refusing to sort out the issues. Then I whipped out my written quotation from WeBuyCars and told them that I won't accept anything less than what WeBuyCars offered. And boom, we had a deal. They paid 378,000 rands to Absa to settle my car loan, and I was left with 142,000 rands change for my next car, and that's how you sell your financed car. I got rid of the lemon, got the 520,000 rands I wanted from VW, and they are now stuck with a car which they must fix at their own expense. And that's a win for me. In part 3, I'll do a detailed financial breakdown of the Polo GTI journey from day 1 till the day I sold it and how much money I'll be saving from downgrading to a Suzuki Baleno. By the way, my car loan installment for the Baleno is now 1,951 rands. After the recent 75 basis points repo rate hike, my car loan installment was gonna be 4,449 rands, so I adjusted my loan contract and I'm planning to pay off the car in the next 3 months. I'll tell you more about that in the next video. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel for more car content in Mzansi Context.